In this video I will show you how to create a 3D part in FreeCAD. So here I have an example of a 3D geometry that we can also create a manufacturing draft for parts using FreeCAD. So I start to create the geometry for this example. So new, I save it. So first we go to part design section. So here we have access to create a sketch first and then create our 3D volume or remove volume through these operations. So first we select the plane where we want to select our sketch. Here is XY plane. So I create a rectangular first, the basic rectangular here. Either I can start from a reference point that it puts the constraint, or I can randomly create the triangular from a random place. And then using constraint, I can constrain this point to the reference point. And then I give dimension to my sketch by selecting the line. So here is 100 millimeter to 100 millimeter. To have a better view, we can select on this icon. Now we want to create our hole. Either we can here directly create by inside our sketch, or in removing volume. There is different methods to create our geometry. So I first create one circle and then I dimension it from this line 15 millimeter. Again, and then I give the radius 10 millimeter. So I can create the other three as well with the same method, or I can use the pattern like array here. So I can have 2 row and 2 column. And then I can edit my first angle 0, it should be 0, and then the dimensions here is 70 and here as well 70. So now I completed my sketch and then I exit. So now I can do an operation to give a volume to this. Through these operations here I use pad. So I have 10 millimeter, I give volume. So to create my second volume, this cylinder here, I select this surface and then I select the sketch Again, I use this icon to have a better view. So now I have access to create my sketch at this plane. So I create a circle in the center. I give dimensions. So from here, 15 and 15 millimeter. Also I give the radius 25 millimeter. When all the constraint, all the circle is dimensioned, it become green. But if I give another dimension, so it's considered as over constraint, and it become red. So we should be careful. So my sketch again is complete, my second sketch. Now I can come to part design and give again a volume by using pad. Here also 10 millimeter volume, as we can see here. So 10. Here also we have the operation that we did. So we did our first pad, second pad, and now I want to create this hole inside the part. So I select again the surface where I want to create my sketch. I select a sketch. Again I select a right view and create my circle at the center. I dimension it as before. Is 10 millimeter. So my sketch is complete. I close the task. Here now I want to remove volume. So for removing volume I use this operation here, but the simple is for this example is pocket. So either I can remove volume by giving the dimension to have my hole, or I can use through all option. That here I use this option. So now I have my part. Now we go to create our manufacturing draft in Tech Draw. So I select insert the page that I want. So its default page is this one, but we have access to selecting other standard sheets, and we can edit title, or any other options here, and we can insert our view to the page as I did before. So first we come to our geometry part view, and we put it in the view that we would like to have, and then we select the body that we want to have the view of it, and select view, insert view, and here we have the view that we had in part, and we can see it here in our this window. And we have the option of changing the scale. So I reduce scale. In the same method we insert other views as well, so I use top view of the body, and also side view of the body. So now here we can give dimensions. So we can select the line, for example this line, and give the dimension. This line and nodes help us to give dimensions. Sometimes we need to create extra nodes from this option to give the dimension. So we create a point in the center that can help us to give dimension. So we click to the node and keep control and select the line, or both are green. Now we could select the dimension. So after giving all the dimension, we can remove with this icon, we can remove all extra information to have a manufacturing draft like this, and we can export it by selecting the page and export in PDF. So we can export it as PDF, and also we can export the part by selecting part. We can export in different format, step, STL. I hope this example was helpful. I will continue to do examples. Feel free to give me comments and questions. I will try to cover your requirements. By this, I will finish this video. Thank you for watching.